Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus?
Hey, what's up guys? I've got yet another update for you as more and more leaks are collecting before the final release of the new iPhones just next month. Got a couple weeks to go. Can you believe it? I am so excited. Mostly for the Apple Watch 4 and the new iPads, but the iPhones will be a hoot as well. So we've been working on some new renders. As you know, we have been building a new render PC. It's not without its difficulties, honestly, going through some issues, but otherwise it is an absolute beast. And I'm so excited to boost the quality of our renders going forward on this channel. And I'm already seeing the difference. 32 cores of raw power. So anyways, in this video, let's go ahead and cover all the latest news, and there is quite a bit. So we're going to be talking about the release date, actual pre-order date, and in-hand release date of the new iPhones. There's a new mysterious possible iPhone SE 2 model, and everything in between, including some new futuristic patents Apple is working on. Even he wants in on the iPhone leaks. I don't know what he's been up to, but he stops by and says hello once in a while. So I got a new color here, the space gray on the 6.1 with even more detail. The lens looks a little different. So I wanted to start with these latest concepts from Apple iDesigner. He decided to share them with me, and I wanted to show you them in case you haven't seen them. This guy does some really great work, and he's actually one of the best concept designers I've seen around. So his latest stuff envisions the packaging and the new colors of the more premium 10 lineup, and it looks so dang good. I mean, that's an Apple quality ad right there, and I only hope to get on his level one day. We did make a moving shot of this. I don't think it really compares, but that is beautiful. So these are the new colors. I highly doubt that that's what they're going to be called, the iPhone XS Plus. It's a lot there. It's quite the mouthful, but otherwise it looks really good. Go give him a follow and check out his latest stuff down below. And once again, he's back at it. Developer Rambo from Twitter has been digging through Apple's code, this time through Xcode Beta 8, and within it he's found reference to a new Apple product, a new iPhone that we haven't seen anywhere else. It was actually titled the iPhone XX, and hey, there's a thought for the potential new name of the new iPhone. We've been thinking it might be called just the iPhone, 2018 iPhone, iPhone XS, iPhone 11, but what if it's just called the iPhone XX? And what are they going to do the year after that? I wonder. Just kidding. This is likely just an internal testing naming structure here, and I'm digging deeper. He actually found some details about the specs of this phone, and he said that it might be a replacement to the iPhone SE, the iPhone SE 2, supposedly. So it would share the internals with the iPhone 7, he said. It would have the Apple A10 processor, same amount of RAM, and where things get interesting is that it would have the same resolution as well. So that means that the display would either be getting more dense, and by the way, he did mention that it would be a P3 color gamut display, so it would be getting an upgrade in terms of the color, but also the resolution. So it could potentially be an iPhone SE 2, as we haven't seen reference to this before, and who knows? I mean, Apple might need a very cheap replacement for the iPhone 6S, which they're not going to be selling in stores anymore. So this mysterious T500 device could be a replacement for the iPhone SE, but developer Steve Troughton-Smith says that there is no way that this actually shares the exact same specs with the iPhone 7, same form factor, same screen size and resolution. So it is a new device, but it might just be a cheaper to manufacture iPhone 7 that will be replacing the existing 7. There might be some differentiations in features, possibly. Maybe Apple will be removing it to make it even cheaper, but this is no iPhone SE form factor. It's actually the same 4.7 inch of the iPhone 7 is what he's saying. So once again, our hopes get picked up and then dashed against the rocks for those of you waiting for an iPhone SE successor one day, a smaller form factor, possibly even a larger display, but that's definitely not what this is. Now, when it comes to the timeline of this upcoming iPhone, we know everything there is. So supposedly everything's been confirmed, the actual announcement date, the pre-order date, and then the street date. Now, the actual unveiling date, it's been guessed by many news sites, MacRumors, CNET, and they all predict that it falls into between the 11th and 12th of September. Now, BGR, a news site, is reporting that many PR firms are actually sending them information saying that there's a major embargo for a major product coming up that's dropping on the 12th. So theoretically, the unveiling date is on the 12th, and there's been so much evidence and just supporting theories that are saying, yes, it's true, the 12th is when Apple's going to be announcing it. And that means we're going to be seeing a formal announcement here within a week or two, before the end of August, where Apple's going to be sending out the invites since it's that early in the month. And now a German news site is saying that German mobile carriers are preparing for for pre-orders of Apple's new iPhones on September 14th, which is a Friday, and which perfectly falls into the schedule that they've done many years before. Friday tends to be a very good pre-order date. So with a launch date on Wednesday the 12th, we're going to get pre-orders on the 14th, which is a Friday, and the following Friday on the 21st, they're saying will be the actual in-hand launch date. Now, previously we heard some details that the iPhone 6.1 inch wouldn't be launching until October. Apple would be pushing that back, but you will be able to get the OLED models first. So that's unknown if that comes into play here, but they're saying officially 21st will be the street launch date. Yet again, we've got some great news regarding this year's iPhones from Economic Daily News of Taiwan. They're saying and corroborating a report earlier from TrendForce that the OLED 6.5 inch and the 5.8 inch models of this year will be supporting the Apple Pencil. And that's something I'm very excited about. It'd just be great to take notes on the iPhone with an iPhone supported official pen. You know, there are many styluses out there, but it's not the same as, of course, Apple's, which is pressure sensitive and whatnot. They're also saying that the 6.1 inch, the LCD model, will not be getting this technology. Unknown if it's just to sell those more expensive models or whether or not the LCD is a limiting factor here and they're not able to implement that technology, but you know, on the iPad it's LCD, so they should. I think it's just a power play, so you'll have to buy the more expensive model to get that feature. I still think that Apple will be doing some sort of smaller version just for the iPhone, and they'll have a sleeve where you can easily pocket it just so you don't lose it. They're definitely going to have that covered. Either way, I'm excited, but online I've been seeing a lot of backlash saying Steve Jobs wouldn't want this. I mean, in fact, he said this on stage before.
So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus?
Honestly, times have changed so much that it's not so much as a navigation tool. You don't need it to operate the phone. It's just for getting that creativity, that sharp precision for many applications such as drawing that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Why not have it? For the people that don't want it, don't buy it. You don't need it to operate the phone, but for the people that want it, it's definitely great to have it as an option. Now, this year's iPhones will charge even faster. This is something we've heard before, but now it's being confirmed by another source, China Times. They're saying that because of a material change on the actual wireless charging coil, there will be less resistance, and thus Apple can actually raise the charging rates without overheating and thus get your iPhone to charge faster. So this is great news. I love that many manufacturers are pushing faster charging all the time, Qualcomm namely, and OnePlus, and now Apple will be joining that train as well. And to be more specific, the material they used to use or using right now in the 2017 iPhones is FPC, otherwise known as ferrite polymer composite. They are switching to an entirely copper coil, so that means that there's less resistance and less heat. And I honestly think that that's why they delayed AirPower for so long, just because they're trying to get it to work with both the 2018 iPhones with a higher rate of charging speed and possibly even future-proofing it so that it can charge new iPhones later down the road even faster without needing a refresh. And the Apple Watch Series 4 is coming, as if we didn't know, but now it's been confirmed by Consomac a month early. These are filings with the Eurasian Economic Database that are showing 3 new models of the Apple Watch Series 4. There are 6 filings, and that's for the 2 sizes between them. And it's kind of interesting because there were 8 models last year, and this means there's going to be a radical change in the lineup. Apple might be dropping the ceramic editions, which I really don't want them to. I love this edition, but it is expensive and not a lot of people buy it, I guess, so it's not worth them doing it. It's also very possible that they could be combining all the models into just one, so all of them could support cellular networks. Apple would be simplifying the lineup so you wouldn't have to choose between them. And even further confirmation that these new watches are coming on Apple's website, either removed or sold out entirely. There have been 14 watch bands that you cannot get anymore, and this usually tends to happen right before the release. Now, what gets me worried is that this might suggest that the new watches, because they will be redesigned, first time ever since the release, that they might not work with old bands. I hope that's not the case, as they're very versatile, but if it means having a larger display, new form factor, I'm fine with it. Bands are fairly cheap unless you got some very expensive materialed ones. And in my last video, we talked about how Apple is still working towards a Touch ID embedded in the display for whatever future product. Now that patent has been updated, and it actually references an iPhone directly. This updated sensor that uses multiple cameras to get a 3D image of a fingerprint will be placed below an iPhone screen and used to unlock the iPhone into iOS. It directly references to that. So that seems like Apple could possibly still be working towards a future with Touch ID, as long as it's a better replacement than Face ID. What Apple's looking at is security, speed, and really fingerprint sensors do trump Face ID right now. now in all tests that I've done. So just from a speed aspect, that could be a big motivator as to why Apple is moving towards Touch ID beneath the display. And a very interesting piece of the puzzle just surfaced in regards to the whole port situation with Apple and the future of them. Apple might be forced to go to USB-C in order to sell their phones in Europe or include an adapter or whatever, or they might just go straight to a no ports future, which was discussed. Now there's a new patent that's just been updated also, and it's a magnetic adapter, very similar to a smart connector on the iPad. So it wouldn't be so much of a port as it would just be a magnetic latch on onto the iPhone, and it would still transfer data the same way. It would just be a little bit more sophisticated than a lightning port. The patent actually details how it could be way better in regards to power transfer. It could transfer data faster. It would be more versatile. You can use it with many accessories, just like the smart connector on the iPad, which frankly, not many third-party manufacturers take very good advantage of right now, but that definitely could be grown if it's on an iPhone and there's no lightning connector. And 5G networks are coming. DigiTimes has published a report in regards to that. Apple has been lagging in terms of their modems, a little bit behind the competition. We've already got gigabit modems on many of the Samsung products, but Apple's still stuck at 600 or below megabits. Now, DigiTimes is expecting that in 2021, many phones will start adopting 5G networks, possibly Apple, and by 2022, 97% of phones will be capable of 5G speeds, and I'm very excited for that. So we've got just a few weeks to go. I'm very excited, and by the way, I'm going to be reaching 6 million here hopefully soon, so I'm thinking about doing a Q&A, possibly another giveaway to share with you, give back a little. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited for this year's release. The Apple Watch Series 4 sounds amazing, and the new iPads, of course the new iPhones will be great as well. It's all around going to be a very exciting month, so stay tuned for any and all updates.